Yo, and hello, this is Tuffy with Let's Talk Gundam. Joining me tonight, once again, is Adam, and our new guest tonight is John. John, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. To start off, I'd like to ask, what got you into Gundam?
Me personally,
Yeah.
it was on about the same time I got home from school. Every single day.
Okay, so afternoon Toonami?
Everybody's answer.
Yeah. All right. So what's your favorite mobile suit from Gundam?
Picking one,
Yep.
picking one out of all of them.
Out of any of them, man, any genre, any a series, you name it, pick it.
Can I say Ava 01 from? No, that's not the gun. Probably the Zaku 2.
Wow. Stars or just the standard Zaku 2?
Just the standard Zaku 2.
Okay. And favorite Gundam pilot?
I actually don't have.
Mobile pilot?
It's about the bots, man. It's about the bots.
Yeah, it's about the. For me, it's about the mechs more than the pilots.
I like a little bit of a mix of both, and I like to have characters that are piloting it because that actually does go and add to it in my mind.
But that actually kind of explains why, the way I gathered it, John is a fan of G Gundam, because the story actually revolves a lot around Gundams more than the people in the G series. So that actually makes a lot of sense.
Alright. So, jumping straight in, John, you were talking earlier about, or with us, about super robots versus regular robots. Take it, man. What were you saying?
Well, less normal robots than real robots. Super robots are one-offs. They're made by, they're made mad scientists, or the government pulls everything into one, single unit. Examples for super robots would be, if you look at the way they work, the Jaegers from Pacific Rim. They're all one-offs. They're all, singular units that have powers that defy logic in some ways.
I thought Escaflowne.
Escaflowne is another one. I wouldn't really call those robots since they run on magic.
You're right, they are a bit different.
Okay.
I mean, the classic, the biggest super robot most people think about is things like Gurren Lagann or what is it called? Gigantor, or the Iron Giant. There we go.
Oh, right. Now that makes sense.
Well, real robots are, kind of hard sci-fi. They're war machines. They're, things like the Zaku, which is my favorite, or Robotech, that kind of thing. And G Gundam and Gundam Wing both sit on the edge between super robot and real robot, because in many ways the G Gundam robots, specifically the Royal Crest, have abilities that defy logic. And similarly with Gundam Wing, the Gundams are one-offs sent to defend the colonies, and as they say in the anime, nothing but a Gundam can hurt a Gundam.
Yeah, it's actually a really good quote to it.
Yeah. Well, sort of true, because I remember a Space Leo unit gunning down Death Sight. I remember that because whenever Troa had the Space Leo and Death Sight, the gun, and been like jacked up and stuff, and you have Duo in hiding, then they actually got Death Sight and had him gun it down to prove that he was able to, or he was willing to actually take the chance.
But who is piloting the Leo?
Right.
Yeah, that's true. But he's just using basic weapons, though.
Right. Similar to Char in the fighting the, what was it, the first Gundam with Zaku.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The gun, that's what he was talking about earlier. The reason it stands on the line is not just because of the technology used and the level of the Gundams. You have to take into consideration the levels of the pilots' borderline supernatural abilities.
Without being new types.
Right. It literally takes Gundam to that supernatural realm.
Okay, that makes sense. So between the two, which would you prefer to see?
Uh,
This is a question for both of you guys, by the way.
It was like, you know my answer. I've been a Wing fan since Dragon Ball Z went off. Like, ooh, Wing comes on next.
I think I would lean towards Gundam Wing just because of the fact that G Gundam has the most racist Gundams of all. I mean, they have a
Oh
giant,
my god, the Tequila Gundam. I will never get over the Tequila Gundam.
or Neo Denmark is a giant mermaid.
Okay, okay. Well, since we're gonna throw that out there, then one of our dueling boss tonight is Gundam Maxter. Okay, you have the American Gundam. It's a boxer wearing a football helmet, using a six-shooter,
Red,
and it's
white,
got a
blue.
bunch of girls in bikinis that always are around the pilot. I mean,
Might as well be
his
pilot.
last name is Crockett. I mean, his last name is Crockett. We're talking Davy Crockett here. So I mean, it's sort of, yeah, it is really racist.
Right, but like I said, I would lean towards Gundam Wing, except it's oversaturated the Gundam media recently.
It really. Now, if ever, as a Gundam Wing fan, I like Gundam Wing is my go-to Gundam. As a fan from that series, it is so overrated at this point. Gundam Wing is the Batman of the Gundam universe.
Gundam Wing is the Deadpool.
Deadpool is currently
Yeah.
that. I was talking about that earlier. I was playing a game and there was like 4 Deadpools running around. I'm like, fucking a month ago, nobody even knew what Deadpool was. And it's enough to upset me, but I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been out since '96, and it's still one of, or at least in the United States, one of the most popular Gundam sagas of all time.
Well, it's good.
It has an engaging story. The main character loses his Gundam and has to take the. Did I lag out?
No, you're still here.
I mean, Gundam Wing doesn't, stay in the hero's grasp the entire time.
No, and that was something I liked, was that it revolved around all of the protagonists and the antagonists, because they went in depth into Zex Marquise. They went in depth into Trace Kushrenada. They gave them character and they gave them personality, which is something you don't see for a lot of bad guys. And
Listen, I hate to bring it up because it's the current thing, but Iron-Blooded Orphans, I am not invested into any character in that series like I was half the characters in Wing.
yeah, like, I mean, you start off and what was it, third episode? Heroes Gundam's jacked up and stuff. He's needing to make repairs. What's he do? He gets help offered to him from Duo. He goes and he's like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna just steal your shit in the middle of the night. He just straight up just jacks all of his stuff.
Hey, GTA is popular in the future too.
You watch most animes now and they'll be like, oh, thank you, I appreciate your help. I'm going to be very robotic in my answer. Let's be friends. He's just like, mine. See you at the rendezvous point. And that was, I think, why a lot of the fandom has happened with it, because people were that obsessed with it, because it gave character to the characters.
Well, it was one of the first series that America was even really introduced to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like when we were growing up, we got to come home from school and watch Mobile Suit Gundam or any other series. It was Wing, and we were like, holy crap, this is giant robots and superpowers, and does it get better?
I got hooked on Evangelion, so.
Oh, right. Well,
you might like Iron-Blooded Orphans then, because it's sort of a mix between Evangelion and Gurren Lagann. So you might like the new Gundam series.
That doesn't sound like Gundam.
No, it's not.
That's I am having a very hard time getting into Iron-Blooded Orphans. I'm not saying it's bad because there are several fans out there, but it's no Wing.
Yeah, I'll agree. It's not Wing, but it is the current incarnation of Gundam, and with the exception of the new one that they're working on now, Thunderbolt, I think is what it's called. But it has an interesting concept to it, and the main character is like hero if you take his emotion out of it.
Hero had emotion.
A little bit. He sort of cared about Relina.
Really, the main character of Iron-Blooded Orphans really reminds me of somebody who's touched. Like, he literally, his buddy tells him what to do, and he's like already pulling the trigger, you know? Okay.
Basically, like like the kid from Gurren Lagann. It's like Kamina tells him to do something, and he's like, "I got this."
Honestly, we are really downplaying it. If it's better than that, to be honest. But
I mean, I like Gurren Lagann though.
I think the real deal is we held it to a higher standard. We expected something new, and that's not what we got.
I mean, I do like it. It is hard getting into, very hard getting into, very hard getting into. But I mean, it has promise.
While I'm with a couple of Gundam fanatics, what was your opinion of Build Fighter?
Ugh.
Yeah, okay. I have a problem with Build Fighter because they
Give me
fucked
a
up the
sec. I gotta go get my torch and pitchfork.
Okay, they messed up the Sazabi. Like, first and foremost, they messed up the Sazabi. That was my favorite mobile suit. And
Bill Gundam's wait, I might have my series mixed up.
Build Fighter is where it's the show about the people who go and build Gundam models, and it's basically custom robo.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, it did not feel like Gundam at all. It was closer to Digimon or something.
It reminds me of Metabots.
Metabots.
You remember the show Metabots from the early 2000s? Came on Saturday morning. It had Metabee and all of the other robots, and they built them, and they had them fight each other and stuff.
Never heard of it.
There's a reason why.
Yeah.
It sort of reminds me of that. It reminds me of that meets Zoids.
Hey,
No, Zoids was good. I liked Zoids, okay? But with the whole customizable and being able to take stuff off of one, put it on another, completely tweak it, and make it your own.
I don't care about none of that. My deal was the whole, weren't the Gundams, borderline sentient?
I think they were just remote control.
Oh, I thought they had sentience. I didn't watch very much of it. Did not look like...
I lost interest in it pretty quickly.
Did you get
it sounds like it would make a good game, but a bad series.
Okay, now let me put it this way. If they had taken Build Fighter and put a new name on it other than Gundam, it might have been cool.
Yeah. I think everybody, at least in our generation, holds Gundam to the Gundam Wing standard. Because, I mean, it was the introduction for just about all of us.
Well, I've got a lot of leeway. Mainly, Wing has been my thing. I've watched Wing. I've done Wing. I want something new. I want something that I like as much as Wing, but is new.
But you're looking for the quality. And these shows are severely lacking in that.
They really do feel like a regurgitation.
At least it's not SD.
That's little chibi ones, ain't it?
Yeah, that was a little chibi.
That's what I thought Build Fighter was at first. That's why I was ready.
That was the sentient ones that were able to run around and do shit on their own. And it's like, I got this. It's Ninjago Gundam.
It's dumb.
Dumb. Uh, but I mean, I've got some hope for Build Fighter. Or not Build Fighter, I'm sorry. I have some hope for, I don't have any hope for Build Fighter. Yeah, no. I have hope for Iron-Blooded Orphans because they actually develop characters.
Well, they're giving build fighters, or why do, now that crap, I see it's stuck in my head.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, John. Last time you get it.
They're giving Iron-Blooded Orphans a second season, even though originally it wasn't supposed to have a second season. So now not only is it going to feel like a regurgitation, is it going to feel half-assed and tacked on? I mean,
I hope not.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous.
Yeah, I can see why you would feel nervous then. Who is?
What's the next section? What's up?
All right. Up next is the current merchandise that is up for that is out and about right now. And as always, I'm going to bounce over to the Animazing Escape Facebook page. Right now, they have several pre-order items that are available, and we'll be reviewing those. To start with, we got the Strike Gundam Perfect Grade. Okay. Strike Gundam Awesome Mobile Suit, okay? Perfect grade, it's a 1/60th scale size, $150, well worth the price. Next one, Wing Zero Custom, okay? Another perfect grade, we're talking Endless Vault Edition. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one of these mobile suits right now. It's $160. If you message AZE mech models, then they'll be able to give you more on the ordering process. The Gundam Astray Red Frame. This is, if I'm not mistaken, from Gundam Seed. Yep, it is from Gundam Seed.
Kind of hard to get a hold of.
Huh?
This one's kind of hard to get a hold of here in the States.
Yeah, this one is very hard to get a hold of in the States. Also, why right now there's only one available. So I'm assuming that's going to be a first come, first serve. Let Kim know about that if you're interested in. Hit her up now. It's $220, but once again, well worth it. Let's see. The Perfect Grade 00 Razor. This right here is from Gundam 00. I've got the the real grade version of this. Awesome model. Looks really cool. This one looks like it's going to be even better. Once again, perfect grade, so it's 1/60th scale size. Anybody who's wondering about that, 1/60th is, I'd say, in between 18 inches to 24 inches tall. It's $279, and make sure you message to let them know that you're interested in it, because, you know, this helps them.
For special order.
Yeah, all of these are pre-orders. So what, John?
1/60th scale is also called engineer scale, which is usually used to show most building projects, which means if you get your Gundam, you can throw it up next to a model at an architect shop, and it'll be actual size compared to the building.
That's actually an awesome little bit of information.
Yeah, I was not aware of that, and that actually is good to know.
Well, that's why all the Zoids models are the same scale as all the Zoids. All the Star Wars models are the same scale as all of the regular fighter planes, which is, I think, 1/32nd scale.
Oh, interesting. I was not aware of that. That's actually some information we learned today. So everybody, engineer scale your Gundam models. Build a little city. Have them fighting it out in it. Okay. Well, now we're gonna go.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, dude, that was perfectly acceptable. I actually like that because, you know, the show is about helping people learn more. Now we're gonna go over to the Q&A section of the show. First question we have is Patrick. He asks, you can make up some theories about the new Unicorn series that was announced. Will it be a more fleshed out story? Will it go over the backstories of other characters? What happens after the final battle? Okay. The new Gundam series is basically they're breaking up Gundam Unicorn into several 30-minute shows. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, so you're gonna have the 27 or the 7 episodes of Gundam Unicorn is going to be broken up into 21 30-minute, or what is it there? Let's see.
That's where they more to it, or
No, they're breaking it up. It happens whenever they do stuff like that. Gundam Wing Endless Waltz was done the same way. If you it was broken up into 3 separate chapters. And let's see. His next question was, I also like talking about difference between the original story and the original universe story. Okay, I wish he had gone into more detail on that because I'm sort of left blank on that statement. But yeah, Gundam Unicorn, if anybody is not familiar with it, it is.
I watched Gundam Unicorn, and from what I gather, it's nothing's going to be different. It's just going to be cut into 30-minute episodes and called something different.
Yeah, they're breaking it down. It's the basic completion to the Universal Century, where you had the Zabi family in their eternal struggle for freedom from the Earth space or from the Earth Alliance. Okay, and it's where you find out that Zeon and the Zabi family were actually the good guys throughout all of this, and that their entire struggle was basically the same as the colonial America in its attempt to break free from England's control. I mean, it's a good story. I like it. The main character is Benajar Links and Mineva Zabi. Mineva being the princess of the Zabi family and the last heir of the family. And well, go and watch it. It's a great series. Well worth the 7 hours it takes to watch it. I enjoy it.
There's nothing to theorize. Nothing's going to change, guys. If you're expecting new content, I would not hold my breath.
Yeah, I'm not expecting any filler episodes. I'm not expecting any of that. It was, from what they put out, it is clear beginning, middle, end. We're just breaking this up into smaller segments and basically making it to where they can show it on TV and stuff like that.
Right.
Okay. Next, Jeremy has asked several questions. Do you think we will see a 2.0 version of Master Grades for Gundam 8th MS Team, 0080, 0083, or 0083 in the near future?
I hope so.
It's like, yeah, I hope so. Like 8th MS Team, they had some really good mobile suits in that. Same with 0080. Anybody not familiar? Say what?
What did John say?
I think he said, I hope so.
Oh.
John, was that you that said, I hope so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I share the same point of view. I hope that these suits are released. I feel like they should have been already.
Well, the 2.0 versions are even better detailed versions. The wrist and hand articulation is so much better than previously released in Gundam models. They're larger, they have better detailing, more availability for LED lights to be installed, and just
all around they're more articulate.
Overall, they're more articulate. 8th MS Team and 0080 are pretty much, they're dealing with the opposite sides of the same era. Okay, they're both taking place during the One-Year War for anybody who's curious about it. 8th MS Team is about, well, the Crazy Eights, or the 8th Mobile Suit Team, doing guerrilla warfare on Earth versus the Zeons, while Gundam 0080 is War in the Pocket that focuses on a Zeon pilot on one of the Earth space stations. And both really good stories, very interesting. 0080, it helps you realize that just because somebody may be on an opposing side doesn't mean that they're not actually trying to do good. 0083, I really hope they do that, because
I'm one of those people. I hope that they make suits for all of them. There needs to be
I agree.
every suit you've seen on the show need them all.
Including Zaku Tank.
Yes.
Am I the only one who wants the entire Zeon, or not Zeon, the entire Oz mobile suit set. I would love to get a Leo and an Aries and the Capricorn that was only in the manga and the Virgos and just like the
Who was that
entire.
crab-looking one?
Hmm?
That was the
Who was that Cancer?
Cancer.
The Cancer and the Pisces. Man. I would love to get versions of each one of those because that would complete a set right there.
That'd be a very cool collection.
Yeah, you could have the entire thing, and then you could have the Libra space base sitting above it. And even if it's not to the 1/144 scale size or the 1/100 scale size, let's say they have to do a 1/2000 scale size just because of how fucking massive it would be. It would
See,
still
I think that's what makes Gunpla so unique, man. I mean, not only does it pull in the people that like to enjoy models and the people that enjoy the anime series, but I do this a lot. Never mind. Move along.
Alright. He's like, I see 2.0 versions for Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta, Gundam Seed, but I don't understand why we're still not seeing the 2.0 versions of ground combat Gundams, the Alex, the GPO2, etc. I agree. I wish they would. I would love, like, GPO2 was my favorite Gundam ever. I loved its pod wings. I loved it had the big ass shield, the bazooka or the atomic bazooka that was designed to just nuke a place. I mean, it was a great mobile suit, and I wish that they would do an extremely articulate version of it because I'm tired of getting the same recycled mobile suits over and over again. I mean, am I the only one who thinks that way?
No, not at all. That's what I was talking about. The whole series thing earlier. It's not just the models. It's not just that. I want new, but still Gundams.
The thing is that the entire industry, the film, manga, anime, it's in a rut right now,
Yeah.
and originality is hard to come by.
That's the entire. Yes, that's the personification of the problem. Absolutely.
All right, John. Since you brought it up, would you like to explain this rut to us?
That's exactly what you said.
Well, I mean, he said
Look at the recent movies. Look at the recent movies. We have, Star Wars 8. We have a new X-Men movie. We have Marvel. We have, the same things that have been coming out consistently. What Hollywood, what everybody wants is a cash cow. They want something that will print money. They don't want to venture out into something new, something that might not work.
Everybody wants Star Wars.
They want a sure thing. And if you put the same sure thing out enough, it's going to start looking like mush.
Everybody wants a Star Wars, but all they're giving us is an Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. I mean,
I'm sorry, Indiana Jones and what? I don't believe this movie exists.
exactly. It all feels half-baked. Everything feels half-baked.
I mean, they're even remaking Independence Day.
Now, before we get on that, man, the new Independence Day movie looks like it's going to be really good. Okay.
But it's still a sequel.
I don't mind sequels, provided it's new quality.
Right. I get that. I agree with you there. And on the other hand, sometimes, it looks like it's going to be great, like the Hobbit trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dreams crushed.
Yeah.
Or they made movies out of Evangelion, and that is not worth speaking about.
I didn't even hear about that. I gave up on Hollywood, to be honest. I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies. I've got a short list of things that I want to watch.
Jersey Shore?
No. I haven't watched cable television in 6 years.
But back to the topic at hand, though, like, I look at the Gundam models and I would like to see more from them. Like, I wouldn't mind, because They did it with Gundam Seed. They basically went and used Gundam Seed to remake the entire original Gundam show over again. They made it better looking. Because if you look at the storyline's pretty much the same, with the exception of Amuro didn't accidentally kill everybody he came in contact with.
That would have been interesting.
Kira sort of has that side effect.
It's like that's kind of what it was.
It's like,
ooh, I'm in a Gundam. Pow! I killed 1,000,000 people by shooting the colony wall.
my bad, my bad. Oh, we're at an impenetrable space base that has never been compromised. Ah, my bad. Hey, we need to get these people to safety. Fuck, my bad. Hey, the only place on Earth that's offered us sanctuary. Fuck, my bad.
You realize you just said that Seed and Mobile Suit was the same story, and then told like the exact opposite story. Amuro saved everybody. Kira killed everybody. That's the opposite.
Well, I mean, it was basically the same concept.
Except without the safety.
They made some minor modifications to it. Okay, it's the same as what is it there? Avatar with the giant blue people is basically the story of Pocahontas. It's just they put it in space. Okay, same basic thing. They went and they used it as they're like, huh, Mobile Suit Gundam template. Okay, now let's scratch this out. Instead of him saving these people, we're gonna have him accidentally kill these people. Instead of this, we're gonna have this happen.
That's as far as they went. Everything else is the same, except whenever they needed something to change, everybody died.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, it was still a good show, though.
It was alright.
I enjoyed it. I did not like to see Destiny, but that's just a personal thing. So next, on to Gundam models. Adam, you said you've got your Tallgeese ordered, right?
No.
Or not Tallgeese.
I ordered the Epion. I didn't get the one left in stock. I'm not getting that one. I canceled that order because it was going to be like 2 months before I finally got my model. And I reordered a Wing Zero Endless Waltz Master Grade. It'll be here on the 4th.
Alright. What about you, John? You working on any new models currently?
Just picked up Yakushiki Master Grade from convention over here.
Oh, nice. That was Katsucon, right?
Yep.
Nice. How was it? Besides the Fire Nation attacking.
Idiot with a fire alarm. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I ran into some people selling, making medieval armor, and I just started talking to them.
Nice. So, the Hyakushiki that you have, is it the one that's chrome plated, or do you actually have to paint it gold?
It's plated.
Okay, I like those. Be very careful whenever you're using them. Like personally, you said you have a Dremel, right?
Yes.
Do you have a heat cutter?
I have a razor blade soldered to the end of a woodcutter.
That works too. Be very careful whenever you cut pieces. I would personally suggest using that so that you don't scratch or have like plastic burrs and stuff, because if those chip out, it'll go bad. Like my Hyakushiki, I built a high-grade version of it a few years ago, and I spent like 12 hours making sure I got it looking just right, so to not mess it up at all.
I usually go over with the Dremel with a soft bit, with Gundams and with my Zoids after my my Berserk Fuhrer fell, not Berserk Fuhrer, my Genobreaker fell apart.
Ooh.
Bummer.
Yeah, the joints are bad in that run.
Mm. So how long do you think it's going to take you to build a Hyakushiki?
If I buckle down, about 8 hours.
Nice.
I was going to say your average master grade, if you just crunk it out, takes about 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah. Some of them take a little bit longer, some of them take less, but yeah, an average of 8 to 10 hours is your standard time on master grade. Anybody who's interested in building master grades, those would be the ones I would personally suggest to people. Build a master grade. They're fun.
The last master grade I built took me about 45 minutes.
Wow.
What? Was it that shitty?
No, it was the little Molga. There's multiple Zoids in each box. I'm a model builder, not so
Right.
much an anime fan right now. So I build models from everything. I've even got the God, what is the thing? Peru piloted it.
I'm not sure.
Please tell me you're not talking about the bear guy.
The what?
Okay, good. I said the bear guy. Please tell me you're not talking about that.
No.
Good.
Uh, what is it called?
What series?
Uh, ZZ.
Oh,
I do
I know what
not.
you're talking about. Double.
Quibbly. Quibbly.
Oh, the Quibbly. That's a great model.
That name sounds really familiar.
That's a really they had a version of it in Unicorn. It was the one that the girl was piloting that had the little funnels that came out off of it.
Oh, okay, I remember the funnels.
Yeah. They both said there's as promised last week, I went and finished this guy. For anybody who's wondering, this right here is a beast. It's the Neo Zeon from Gundam Unicorn, and painting it and grinding it out took me roughly 30 hours to completely assemble, but it was well worth it because, I mean, it's 3 feet tall mobile suit, or 3 foot tall mobile armor on the 1/144th scale size, which really lets you know how big it is in comparison to the other Gundams that are out there.
It's a little OP.
It's a little OP. It's a centerpiece for Gundam builders to say, look at my dick. I mean, let's cut down to the basics. That's what it's for.
All right, Sophie, I got to point out that this is the second episode in a row that you've pointed out Gundams and penises. You might want to
Well,
work.
the last one actually had a penis on it.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Okay, well, changing the pattern, let's look at the newest one I'm going to be working on. This is a Death Scythe Hell custom from Endless Waltz, and it's the master grade version. I'm assuming it's going to take me about 2 hours because, you know, it's Death Scythe. It's, after looking at the pieces, I'm figuring it would probably not take me too awful long to build.
That's why I didn't actually order the Death Scythe. I wanted to order something that was going to take me a while. And
Well, the last time I built the Death Scythe, I did it without ever cracking the instruction book open, and I didn't. That's why I avoid getting the Death Scythe. But this time it was the only one that was available. So, let's.
did anyway.
If I listed the models I have sitting on my shelf right now.
Say what now?
I said if I listed the models I have sitting, if I listed the models I have sitting here for a building, I'd be a little bit embarrassed.
Oh, go ahead, man. Don't be embarrassed.
Anybody, if you know Zoids, Lightning Sykes, Shadow Fox, and a Darkhorn, as well as 2 more Molgas.
Nice. I actually like the Shadow Fox. It was cool.
I didn't even know Zoids did models. I honestly, I do Gundams for the models myself. That's what I was talking about earlier. I don't get them. If it's only going to take me 2 hours, I don't really want it.
If you're going to do Zoids models, don't do Bandai. Do Kotobukiya.
Kotobukiya?
Yeah, they have much higher quality, and they actually do master grades instead of the simple snaps that Bandai does.
It's got to be master. If it's not like intricate, if it don't have the skill level to it, I don't think I want to put it together.
Well, my Saber Fang here has every claw is individually articulated.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to look those up. You buy them straight from the website, or do you go to like Amazon or what?
I haggle with people at conventions.
Oh, conventions, right. guess that's
But
probably
just
the best.
watch out for, like I said, the Genobreaker. It's got a bit of a problem with the tail falling off, and if the tail falls off, the entire thing falls in half.
No,
No, that's not good.
no, that that sucks.
That's like the exact opposite.
Goofy. Right. I don't.
Okay, as a Gundam or as a model builder, John, what advice would you give to people starting out on building models?
Honestly, start off with something cheaper, so you get your feet wet, so to speak. You know, don't go straight to the master grade. Start with something you like that's like 20, 30 bucks. So if you break it, you know, you get your hands dirty, you find out, you start, you know, piecing together and say, oh, I shouldn't do that. Oh, I shouldn't use a fingernail clipper to do this. I mean, some people suggest using fingernail clippers to cut out the frames.
Dude, I still do that.
Okay, you do that. I find it crimps the pieces on the edge unless you cut it long and then shave it down.
I've got some really, 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 really sharp ones, and I cut and then I sand.
Well, that's the thing. You start with a cheap one, so you find your own way.
Yeah, that's
What works for one person doesn't work for another one. One of my friends uses wire cutters and hand sands with a thimble wrapped in 800 grade sandpaper.
I got ruler snippets.
I'm about to say I got snips also that I use for bigger pieces, but for like very small pieces, I use fingernail clippers.
No, I got jeweler snippets. They're designed for teeny tiny cuts. They're actually really cool.
I've got a scalpel.
Scalpel would work too.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to say
Scalpel. I don't use scalpel because I don't want to cut myself, and every time I use a scalpel, it ends up in me somewhere.
Well, like I said, you know, I use scalpel and Dremel. You use fingernail clippers and sandpaper. You know, you have to find your own way. So start with something you don't mind ruining, but which would still look cool. And if you screw it up, try and make it look like battle damage.
Yeah, get a couple of high-grade Zaku models.
That's nice.
You get,
Excellent.
starting out, high-grade Gundam models, you get them for like $8 a piece on eBay. Good start. Then you can just sort of battle damage them up all you want, and if you lose a piece or two, well, you're not really out any real money.
And make sure you check the instructions to see whether you need to glue it or not.
That's why I was saying go for a high grade because, I mean, just about all of the Gundam models produced by Bandai don't require glue.
But sometimes you need to glue certain pieces.
As I was gonna say, even though like it don't instruct you to use glue, sometimes
Yeah, it's suggested. Like, specifically on the heads of most Gundams. The antenna, yeah, if you don't glue it in place, it's going to go missing sometime.
oh, you're talking about the
The yellow antenna on the forehead, yep, that'll go missing if you don't glue it in. I've lost enough of them to know that one.
Is there any way to PM each other on this thing?
Yeah, you can just type in the sidebar.
Oh, there's a sidebar.
Should be. Blue box, yep, there you go. Okay. Tab. Oh, I like that.
oh, that is badass.
Okay, well, we're talking about it and stuff. Let me go and screen share so people can see what we're talking about. Alright, so minimize this.
And that's got like master grade style intricacy as far as putting it together.
Yes.
Yeah, see that I want one.
See this right here. It's the. John, tell us what this is.
That is the Genobreaker from Zoid's Chaotic Century, and technically Zoid's Battle Story. It is fully articulated. Those little pincer things fold into the body. If you want, I got a second shot with everything folded up the way it's supposed to be.
All right.
And here you go. That is folded up all neat and tidy, the second link. Anyway, everything folds up they call it a battle backpack in the fandom, and folds out again for You keep clicking the same.
That's because
I-
you posted this. You posted one link.
Oh, I feel stupid.
That's why I was confused. I'm like, what's going on?
I hit Control V twice. That's why.
All right.
There we go.
Wow. That actually does look good. Are the stickers like stickers or the actual like good decals?
Those are the stickers are stickers, but the fins and on the face and the stuff on the legs, that's part coloration.
Okay. For anybody who doesn't or who does any work with the decals and stickering, I would say, like me personally, if it's a decal, then I let it soak in warm water in a bowl of warm water for about 30 seconds, and then I use a toothpick to help slide it off. It's a lot easier. If you use your finger, it's going to get stuck to your finger. If it's stickers, I would personally suggest using tweezers. What about you, John?
I
Uh,
haven't found my way with that yet. I soak them and I stick them on, but I have little tiny tweezers and a glass stirring rod.
Okay.
John, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know that my wife hates you.
Why? Because
I am about to go ham on buying some of these Zoids. These things are badass.
that thing weighs 4 pounds.
Holy shit.
I can't find him. I went straight to Amazon. I'm looking at Kotoboyoko. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Model, yeah, right now, and I want all of them.
I'm
Oh.
currently building not my breaker. My breaker broke. I'm currently building my collection, and they just released one of the boss Zoids from the thing, but going for a turtle.
I gotta ask, what am I looking for here? Like on Gundam kits, it's master grade. Is there something on these that lists the difficulty level?
Top right corner it says HMM, which stands for High-End Master Model.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. And that's not bad. $70 for the Liger Zero. That's not
Oh,
bad.
don't talk to me about the Liger Zero.
Oh, you have a bad experience, bro.
Ligers are overdone in the Zoids fandom.
Oh, right.
The Ligers are basically the Gundam wing of the fandom.
Wow. They really
Yeah.
are. Panzer.
Oh, new picture. That's the one I'm looking for right now.
Oh, interesting.
It's cute.
There is one thing I've noticed is that people have started combining Zoids and Gundam pieces together because apparently they're able to be meshed pretty well together. Have you seen any of
Yeah,
that?
because they use similar frame size because they have the print because Kotobukiya does all the Armored Core models too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there it is.
And I suggest you don't look at Armored Core unless you want your wife to hate me more.
The armored core.
Armored Core. Right, don't look for that.
Too late. I'm gonna have like my whole like I'm not upgrading my computer no more. I'm cracking out on models.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely don't click the link I just sent you.
Do not-
Whatever you do, don't click that link.
Oh, that looks badass.
Oh,
For anybody who's wondering, I'll go ahead and I'll once again show the link. This is the most recent link he just sent us. And John, what is this that we're looking at?
That is I believe that's a silent line. All of the Armored Core suits all the Armored Core suits can be completely customized, like you were complaining about Gundam Build Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all are completely. You tear them down, and you can put them together however you want.
Nice. All right. To segue out of the model section show and to go into a section that we skipped earlier by accident, it's our Gundam duels. So tonight we have.
Well, we kind of half discussed it, and
Yeah, but we didn't go into the actual duel. So in the first corner, we have Gundam Maxter, representing
Who
the
would
United.
literally be fighting in a boxing ring once.
Yeah. We're gonna do this on a global-sized boxing ring.
Oh, great! That just changed the odds in general. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I say global-sized boxing ring. Let's just say they're fighting out in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Okay.
That
Or
was
no?
that tipped it in the other direction.
Okay.
Go ahead and list the components. So we're on
Let's
flat.
fight in the middle of France. Nobody will care.
There
Okay,
we
yeah.
go.
Okay, they're fighting in the middle of France. Okay. Coming from is the Louvre in France?
Yes.
Okay, so coming out of the Louvre, okay, busting up out of it, all big and badass, you have Gundam Maxter. Now,
I think they actually did that.
okay, well,
Copyright.
rappelling down off the Eiffel Tower, we have Sandrock. All right, and go. What do y'all think? Who wins this fight? We have all the anonymities of Sandrock and all the anonymities of Gundam Maxter. Who wins the battle?
Looking through it, I noticed that Sandrock is the only one with a self-destruct. But on the other hand, Americans are self-destructive as on their own.
Okay, so
Sandrock goes full DARPA jihad on their ass. And
Did you realize the political undertones of this matchup?
yeah, that's kind of why I went there. America, this is not right. It's not made right.
okay, just now realizing that for anybody who is not aware,
See, that's the problem with G Gundam. You bring G Gundam into anything, it instantly becomes racist.
no, it's actually Gundam Wing's fault on this one being racist because the Sandrock was part of the Middle Eastern Union.
Piloted by the blondest, whitest kid on the planet.
Okay, so rappelling down off the Eiffel Tower, we have the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Middle Easterner versus.
Can we just, finish this off, put a swastika on it?
Yeah. They both lose. Hitler comes along and is. I'm going to stop right there.
So, okay.
Thanks, G Gundam. Thanks.
Okay, so we have Gundam Maxter versus Sandrock. Go.
All right. Okay. I say Sandrock because Maxter Gundam is primarily a close-up melee fighter. Well, Sandrock is too, but he has inbuilt hover capabilities and hit-and-run tactics with his machine guns.
I would like to point out that the machine guns that he has are in his head, and they're only. Or are you talking about the?
He has sidearms, don't he?
No,
I think he's talking about the
the Vulcan cannon.
Shotel.
The what now?
Sorry, the beam machine gun. He has a handheld beam machine gun.
Yeah. He has a
Oh,
handheld.
he does. He has a sub. That's right. He has a handheld Gundam-sized MAC-10.
Basically.
That just
And
makes things
it
better.
specifically mentions it allows him to do hit-and-run tactics. He can rat-a-tat-tat-tat zip away. Whereas Maxter Gundam's more like, if I get close to you, I'm going to use my giant fisty punch of American death.
Well, you have to remember, Gundam Maxter also rides a giant flying surfboard.
Forgive me. That slipped my mind.
So they both have the hit and run thing going on.
Okay.
Mark,
Damn it, G Gundam.
On the other hand, yes, Gundam Sandrock has a major advantage because Gundam Sandrock has missiles.
Right.
Circle.
And I've got to defend Maxter here. Maxter does have a ranged fire fist attack.
And he also has his double 6-shooters that he has. Remember, he's got a couple of 6-shooters on his hips.
And they just look like 6-shooters. They're actually machine guns, I think.
All right, but continue between you guys. I'm going to let you guys discuss this for a minute before I put in my input.
Once again, they both sit on the real robot, super robot edge, and Maxter, if being piloted by its primary pilot, Chibity, breaks the rules because of the whole Shuffle Alliance crest thing, which gives him the magical ability to throw, like, key punches or something. I don't exactly understand how that worked.
I don't either, but I know what you're talking about.
Dragon Ball Z!
Catra did not have a zero system. So he does not have the supernatural edge like Maxter does. That really tips the scales.
Right, and I don't think we're talking about the armadillo armor.
I know this sounds weird, but you tried to change your icon earlier, and just then when it came up, it flashed up for a half a second and then went away.
Whatever, it happens.
Right. Just thought it was funny.
All right.
The biggest thing I see in Sandrock's favor is if you have the armadillo armor,
Right.
that adds more missiles, 180 millimeter cannons, and another machine gun. And from the look of it, cloak.
Yeah.
He had
The
this.
cloak only really did any good against beam weapons. So I don't know if that would help so much in this fight.
Maxter doesn't have beam weapons.
Yeah, he does.
What?
The Maxter has. I'm looking at it right now. The burning machine. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's the burning machine gun punch.
Yeah,
His
no.
weapon is-
Maxter's melee, so that cloak don't do.
Oh, his guns are two dual-wielded giant revolvers that are 6-shooters which shoot solid slugs.
Oh, so they are.
Ridiculously expensive.
Right.
Yeah. So he's got 12 shots, but at the same time, it's probably if he shoots.
I think the scales are really tipping. I don't know, man, because we got the supernatural edge for Maxter versus Catra's or Sandrock's superior firepower and armor.
Right.
Now, Maxter does have the Cyclone Punch, the Burning Punch, and the Burning Machine Gun Punch, which is basically like E Honda from Street Fighter 2, just going ah.
Most of his attacks are melee.
Yeah. Which, in an up-close fight, he would probably win, possibly, if Ketra didn't just go cutting your arms off. My big thing for why I'm going to vote for Ketra in this one, because as I stated earlier, the anonymities of Ketra and Sandrock, he's got the entire Magnat Corps that has his back. So if it looks like he's going to go down, these 40 guys are going to show up and just gun down whoever's shooting at it.
If that's the case, doesn't that mean Maxter has America?
No.
No.
Maxter fights for America. America doesn't fight for Maxter.
Oh, okay. And they fight for Catra, so.
Yeah, they fight for Catra. They're his body.
30 tactics, Sandrock is actually 50 some odd fighters.
Yeah, dealing with Sandrock, if he starts to go down, he's going to call in his backup.
If we're really putting that aspect into it, then since it was so close with just superpower versus armor and superior firepower, that kind of seals the deal, don't it?
Yeah. Well, Maxter does have the potential of trying to call in the Shuffle Alliance, which brings in another 4 or 5 fighters to his side.
One of which can clone themselves.
Yes, one of which cloned himself. The other one of which will beat you with his belt.
Are they superior pilots and units? Are those 4 or 5 units stronger than the 50 no names that are gonna show up for Catra?
Domon killed Zaku equivalents with a scarf.
See, so it sounds to me like we're back on even scale again.
Yeah, so
I was thinking just one-on-one. The only thing that might tip things in Maxter's scale is if it's in the part of the series where he's been infected with the DG cells and can regenerate damage.
and regenerate his mobile suit.
Right.
All right. See, so that right there.
If we're gonna do that, then let's skip to the part of the series where oh, apparently Zordon's needing to get in touch with me. Let's skip to the part of the series where Hero goes and gives
Like, gotta go and like shut the podcast off really fast.
Well, no. The reason I'm saying that is the DG cell infection and the Shuffle Alliance crest are mutually exclusive.
yes, I
Right.
believe.
So he would, it's either regeneration or, having the ability to throw his punches, so to speak.
Oh.
But in general, I'm seeing Sandrock, and I'm not supposed to be rooting for Sandrock.
Well, that's why I started talking to Maxter, because honestly, I really expected you to be on Maxter's side.
It's hard to argue. I mean, looking at it from pure, statistics.
Yeah.
Quattro has, is it his Quattro, right?
Catra.
Quattro has a, he can use Parthian tactics. He can hit and fade. Maxter has to be all in your face, and tactically, I mean, yes, that's what he does, and the problem is the mobility. You have the hover system versus the surfboard. The surfboard is easily damaged, the hover system is integral. You have the homing missiles, which cannot be easily dodged, versus a guy with fists and a six-shooter.
Yeah.
But the last thing is you have the mobile trace system versus a conventional control scheme, which gives Maxter a lot more mobility, a lot more agility, which swings back things in his favor. Looking at it statistically, it's very even, unless it comes down to what happens at long to mid range before Maxter gets up in his face. Once he gets up in his face, Maxter's basically got it in the bag in my mind.
Right.
I will 100% agree.
So it really is a toss-up. Like, we can't come to a conclusion here. It's like depends on the scenario.
Right. Out in the open, Kocher. If it's an ambush situation,
Maxter.
Maxter. If it's, if they both know the other is coming, who preps? I mean, I could just roll a D20 right now and see. Okay, 14. Kocher hits.
Catra. So Sandrock takes the fight by matter of luck.
Sandrock goes, bah!
He's missing a leg. He's literally like using his hover capabilities just to stay up, but he managed to take out Maxter's arms with his showtails and win the fight. Miracle episode. Yeah. Adrian.
Yeah, it would be a good fight. It would be one of those. I would actually watch that.
Yeah.
I would watch that battle, like, because that would definitely be a good one. So wow, Ketra wins by a punch.
Skin on his teeth, like luck was on.
I know I was supposed to be supporting Maxter, but it's just, looking at it statistically, looking at it.
Well, but that's a lot of the problem with me.
Those.
What's that?
What were you saying, John?
I said it all comes down to that how it starts. That's it.
Right.
Dude, that would actually be something cool if like we role play, or if we decided we wanted to role play out how this worked. Because
I was actually going to ask John that earlier. As a DM, has he ever tried to run a Gundam game?
Yes.
Didn't work.
Oh no, it worked wonderfully up until things went completely off the rails.
You reach Dragon Ball levels or what?
No, somebody ripped the arm off of a Zaku and used it as a club to beat somebody else to death.
Oh, infighting?
Yeah.
Yeah, bummer.
Mostly because it was a point buy system. Everybody built their own Gundams,
Yeah.
and
wait, did you use the D20 mecha system?
GURPS.
GURP. I like GURPS.
Even better.
And somebody who we will not name, Kyle, decided to use information from Stargate.
Okay.
Which meant that his Gundam had a Quadria power supply, which was more powerful than the fusion, and it was pure gold.
I'm sorry, what?
He had a gold Gundam with Egyptian style armor that was firing plasma blasts out of a spear.
I'm sorry, what?
I am the god Gundam.
He was calling himself Osiris Gundam.
Yeah.
Actually, that's pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
And he was beating people to death with a spear too.
Like, was he like actually beating people to death or beating their Gundams to death? Because there's a complete
both. He pulled the Kali Ma thing from Indiana Jones and ripped somebody out of the cockpit and squeezed him.
That'd have been hilarious.
Dude, I want to join some of y'all's games. Dude, I think the worst we ever did in one of our Gundam games, Adam, was, what was it? I went and lobbed the grenade into the nursing home or whatever it was we were locked up in.
I have no idea. We've played a lot of random games over the years.
Yeah.
I think that one, the campaign ended when somebody snuck into the all of the Gundams and activated all of the self-destruct mechanisms.
Well, damn.
God.
That's a little intense.
Bender.
Well,
Plot twist, M. Night Shyamalan wrote this game.
My fault. It was entirely my fault because I didn't think they didn't set any guards.
Oops.
No?
I mean, you've played D&D, Pathfinder, whatever. You always set a watch, right?
Yes.
Yes, they didn't set a watch, and I had somebody go in and okay, let's give him a really low sneak roll, and they slept through him breaking into every single Gundam, setting the self-destruct, stealing their coffee, and leaving with all of their supplies. Yeah.
Best games though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in a game one time, man, and game started out, the gnome I was telling you about earlier, it was a 3.5 game. Killed an Elder Dragon with one punch because our DM let me get a free hit in on it. Because it's like, it just starts laughing at you because you were so ludicrous as to go and threaten to take it on right now. And I'm like, okay, he's like, it pats its chest and tell you, do your worst. I'm like,
Okay, well, I feel as though I have to say we've gotten way off course. We went from Gundams to gnomes and dragons.
okay, this is
Great conversation, off topic.
this is very true. It's very true. But yeah, so I'm guessing that's about it for the episode. Thank you, John, for helping us out and everything. Thank you all our viewers out there. Thank you everybody who will be watching this in the future. You guys are awesome. Um, I guess we're signing out, and good night.
Good night, everybody.